Let me say something that's going to make a lot of you uncomfortable. Ready? She's not confusing you. You're confusing yourself. That woman you keep texting, keep chasing, keep rearranging your entire schedule for, she already gave you her answer. She gave it to you weeks ago, maybe months ago, and you saw it. You felt it in your gut. That sinking feeling when your phone stayed silent, that hollow pit in your chest when she laughed off something you meant with your whole heart. You knew, but instead of accepting it, you told yourself a story. You told yourself, she's just busy, she's stressed, she's been hurt before, she needs time. No, she needs you to stop. And before you click away, before your ego tells you this video isn't about you, stay with me for the next 15 minutes. Because what I'm about to break down isn't just a list of red flags. Every channel gives you that. What I'm going to expose today is something far more dangerous. The psychological machinery running inside your own mind that keeps you trapped in situations where you are clearly, undeniably not wanted. Welcome back to Love and Logic. I'm Olivia, and today we're not being gentle. The comfortable lie people believe. There's a romantic myth that has destroyed more men emotionally than almost anything else in modern dating, and it sounds like this. If I just show her how serious I am, she'll come around. Hollywood sold you this. Music sold you this. Even your well-meaning friends sold you this. The idea that persistence equals devotion, that chasing is romantic, that a woman's resistance is just a wall you need to climb over with enough effort, enough flowers, enough good morning beautiful texts at 6 a.m. Nobody wants to admit this, but that narrative is a trap. And it's not even a trap she set for you, it's one you built yourself. Here's where most people get it wrong. They confuse patience with denial. Patience is when both people are invested, but the timing needs adjustment. Denial is when one person has emotionally checked out and the other is performing a one-man play in an empty theater, giving a standing ovation to their own delusion. And I say this with zero judgment. I say this as someone who has sat across from hundreds of people, men and women, who poured months, sometimes years, of emotional energy into someone who had already moved on in their mind before the second date. So let me ask you a question, and I want you to be brutally honest with yourself. Right now. Not later, not after this video. Right now. When was the last time she did something, anything, that made you feel genuinely chosen, not tolerated, not entertained when she was bored, chosen, pursued, desired? If you have to scroll back 6 months of memory to find that moment, or worse, if you're sitting there trying to reinterpret breadcrumbs as a 5-course meal, then what I'm about to say next is specifically for you. The harsh reality. Let me paint a picture that might sting. There's a man. Let's call him Jeffrey. Jeffrey met a woman at a mutual friend's gathering. They exchanged numbers. First few days, the conversation flowed. She was laughing at his jokes. She was responding quickly. He felt a spark. So he asked her out. She said yes, then canceled the day of. Something came up. He understood. Asked again. She was vague. Maybe next week. Next week came. He followed up. She left him on red for 2 days, then replied with a single word, "Hey." Now, here's what Jeffrey did. Instead of recognizing that this woman's enthusiasm had flatlined, he doubled down. He sent longer messages. He started complimenting her appearance more. He began checking in every morning and every night. He became her emotional vending machine, inserting kindness coins, hoping affection would drop out. It never did. And here's the part that will make some of you angry. She wasn't a bad person. She wasn't manipulative. She wasn't playing games. She simply wasn't interested. And she communicated that not with words, because most people are terrified of direct rejection, but with every single behavior she displayed. Her silence was a sentence. Her cancellations were a paragraph. Her vague responses were an entire chapter. Jeffrey just refused to read the book. Now, some of you watching this are Jeffrey, and some of you are worse than Jeffrey, because you did read the book and you're still sitting in the library pretending you didn't understand the language. Here's the harsh truth. A woman who wants you will find you. She will find time she doesn't have. She will rearrange things she said couldn't be moved. She will respond to your message while she's in the middle of something because your name on her screen gave her a shot of dopamine she didn't want to ignore. That's what genuine interest looks like. It's not complicated. It's not ambiguous. It's not something you need a YouTube video to decode. If you need a magnifying glass to find evidence that she likes you, she doesn't. So why does this actually happen? Psychology section. So why do intelligent, self-aware men fall into this cycle? Why do men who can spot a bad business deal from a mile away completely lose their ability to read signals when a woman is involved? 3 psychological forces are at work, and none of them are talked about enough. The first is intermittent reinforcement. This is the same mechanism that makes slot machines addictive. She doesn't ignore you all the time. Occasionally, she throws you a warm text, a laughing emoji, "You're so sweet." And that random, unpredictable reward hijacks your dopamine system in a way that consistent affection never could. Your brain doesn't get addicted to being loved consistently. It gets addicted to almost being loved, sometimes being loved, maybe being loved. The inconsistency is the drug, and every time she gives you just enough to keep you guessing, your brain registers it as a jackpot. You're not in love, you're in withdrawal between hits. The second force is ego protection through reframing. This is a defense mechanism, and it's devastatingly effective. When a woman's behavior clearly signals disinterest, your ego, which has attached your self-worth to her acceptance, cannot allow you to absorb that reality. So instead, your mind reframes the evidence. She didn't ignore you, she's just an introvert. She didn't cancel, she's dealing with personal stuff. She didn't call you a friend in front of everyone, she's just private about her feelings. You become your own defense attorney, arguing against a mountain of evidence and somehow convincing yourself you've won the case. You haven't. The jury left hours ago. The third force, and this is the one nobody wants to hear, is scarcity mentality. Deep down, some of you are holding on to this woman not because she's extraordinary, but because you believe she might be your only option. You've placed her on a pedestal not because she earned that elevation, but because you're terrified of the empty space that exists if you let her go. And that fear of being alone, of starting over, of admitting that you invested emotionally in something that had no return, that fear is the real chain around your ankle. She's not keeping you. Your own fear of having no one is keeping you. And let me be clear about something. This isn't a male-only phenomenon. Women experience every single one of these forces too. But today, I'm speaking directly to the men in this audience because there's a specific cultural expectation placed on men that makes this worse. The idea that a real man doesn't give up, that persistence is masculine, that walking away is weakness. No, walking away from someone who doesn't want you isn't weakness. It's the most powerful thing you can do. It means your self-respect has a louder voice than your loneliness. And that is rare. That is strength most people never develop. All right, let's get into the lessons. And I'm not sugarcoating any of them. Hard truth number 1. Her words mean nothing. Her patterns mean everything. Stop listening to what she says and start watching what she repeatedly does. A woman can tell you she cares about you while simultaneously showing you through her actions that you are an afterthought. People will say anything to avoid conflict. They'll call you babe in a text and then not think about you for 72 hours. Words cost nothing. Patterns cost energy, and wherever someone consistently spends their energy, that's where their actual interest lives. If she wanted to call you, she would have called. If she wanted to see you, she would have shown up. If she wanted to be with you, you would not be watching this video right now looking for answers. Hard truth number 2. I'm not ready is a complete sentence, and it's not about you. When a woman tells you she's not ready for a relationship, too many men hear, I'm not ready yet, but keep trying and maybe you'll be the exception. That's not what she said. She said she's not ready. Full stop. And even if what she secretly means is, I'm not ready with you, the result is identical. You aren't in a relationship with this person, and you're not going to be. Treating her statement as a challenge to overcome is not romantic. It's a refusal to respect someone's clearly stated boundary. And the irony is the moment you actually walk away with dignity, that's when you become the most attractive version of yourself. Not to win her back, but because you've finally chosen yourself. Hard truth number 3. If you are the only one initiating, you are the only one interested. I need you to run an experiment. It's simple, brutal, effective. Stop reaching out for 7 days. Don't text, don't call, don't send a meme, don't accidentally like her story. Just go silent and watch what happens. If 7 days pass and your phone remains untouched by her name, there is your answer. It was delivered to you on a silver platter of silence. And no, she didn't forget about you. In an age where people check their phones 150 times a day, nobody forgets about someone they genuinely want. They forget about people they've mentally filed under optional. Are you willing to be someone's option? Because you were never designed to be. Hard truth number 4. Body language is the confession people don't know they're making. You can fake a compliment, you can fake a laugh, you can even fake a kiss, but you cannot fake sustained, authentic body language. When a woman leans into you during conversation, maintains eye contact that lingers a beat too long, mirrors your gestures, finds excuses to touch your arm, that's involuntary attraction. Her nervous system is speaking. Conversely, when she angles her torso away from you, checks her phone mid-sentence, crosses her arms while you're being vulnerable, or scans a room like she's looking for an exit, her nervous system is also speaking, and it's saying, I don't feel safe enough, interested enough, or attracted enough to be fully present with you. Believe the body. It has no reason to lie. Hard truth number 5. The most dangerous woman is not the one who rejects you outright, it's the one who keeps you in orbit. Some women, and again, some men do this too, so save your outrage, will never fully reject you because your attention feeds something in them. Not love, not attraction, validation. You are her emotional supply. You are proof that she is desirable, wanted, pursued, and she will give you just enough, a flirty comment here, a late-night reply there, to keep you circling her like a satellite that will never land. This is not cruelty in every case. Sometimes she doesn't even realize she's doing it, but the effect on you is the same. You are burning fuel, losing altitude, and orbiting someone who will never let you arrive. What emotionally mature people do differently. So, what does it look like when someone actually handles this well? What do emotionally mature men do when they recognize these patterns? First, they trust their gut on the first signal, not the 14th. Emotional maturity means you don't need 12 pieces of evidence to accept something you felt after 2. Your intuition flagged it early. Maturity is listening early. Second, they don't personalize rejection. An emotionally secure man understands that one woman's disinterest is not a verdict on his value. It's not a reflection of his attractiveness, his worth, or his future. It's simply incompatibility. And incompatibility is not failure. It's information. The mature response is, she's not for me. Next. Third, they protect their energy like it's currency, because it is. Every hour you spend decoding mixed signals from someone who isn't invested is an hour you didn't spend on your goals, your growth, your healing, or meeting someone who would be thrilled, genuinely thrilled to hear from you. Emotionally mature people understand opportunity cost. They know that the wrong relationship isn't just bad, it actively prevents the right one from entering their life. Fourth, and this is the one that separates the evolved from the stuck, they are willing to feel the pain of letting go rather than the slow poison of holding on. Let me say that again. They choose the sharp, clean pain of walking away over the chronic, soul-draining ache of staying where they're unwanted. One heals, the other just erodes you until you don't recognize yourself anymore. So, here's my challenge to you, and I'm not asking, I'm telling you. Open your phone after this video. Look at your last 20 messages with the person you're thinking about right now, because yes, there is someone, and we both know it. Look at the ratio. Look at who's initiating. Look at the energy. Look at the length of her responses versus yours. Look at how long she takes to reply versus how fast you respond. And then ask yourself one question. If your best friend showed you this exact conversation and said, "Does she like me?" what would you tell him? You already know the answer. You've known it for a while. The question was never whether she's interested. The question is, why are you so afraid of what happens when you finally accept that she's not? Now, I know this video is going to start a war in the comments, and I want that because I want to know, do you agree or do you think persistence actually works? Have you ever won someone over who initially showed no interest, or did you waste months, maybe years, chasing someone who never met you halfway? Drop your story below. Tell me where you stand, because I read every single comment and I want to know, am I being too harsh or am I not being harsh enough? Hit that subscribe button if this channel makes you think, even when it's uncomfortable, especially when it's uncomfortable. Turn on that notification bell so you don't miss what's coming next, because the next video, it's even more controversial than this one. I'm Olivia, this is Love and Logic, and I'll see you in the next one.